Good evening, everyone. Um, I will be discussing chapter 13, which focuses on grounded theory design. This chapter introduced me to a thought provoking concept, particularly how grounded theory differs from traditional research approaches. Rather than starting with the hypothesis or pre existing theory, the grounded theory allows researchers to develop theories based directly on the data they collect. This process was new to me and challenged my thinking about how research can be conducted in a more flexible and adaptive way. I'll be discussing two key takeaways from the chapter that I found particularly interesting and relevant to my work in collegiate athletics and education administration, and how I plan to apply this new knowledge to better support student athletes and improve the research practices in my field. Grounded theory, developing theory from data. One of the most interesting aspects of grounded theory is that it doesn't start with a pre-existing theory. Instead, the research develops a theory of data collected during the study. This is different from traditional research methods that began with a hypothesis and tested throughout the data collection. Instead, grounded theory allows patterns and themes to emerge organically from researchers' experiences. This means that researchers are not biased to by existing frameworks. Instead, they let the data tell the story. For example, in student athlete research, rather than assuming that a particular support system works, I could use grounded theory to explore how student athletes themselves define success and what resources would be found most valuable. This approach could lead to new athlete driven solutions rather than applying generic models that might not fully support their needs. The context comparison analysis. Other new concepts that stood out to me was a concept of comparative analysis, a process in which data collection and analysis happens at the same time. In traditional research, the researcher might collect all of their data first and then analyze it afterwards. But with grounded theory, as soon as some data is collected, the researcher immediately starts analyzing it and comparing it with new data to refine emerging themes. This means that researchers can adapt new insight, making it more dynamic and responsive. In my field, it would be valuable when studying student athlete well being if early interviews reveal that travel schedules significantly impact academic performance. I can adjust future interviews to explore this issue in more in depth. This method ensures that important themes are not overlooked and helps create a theory that is deeply rooted in real experiences. How I could apply this in my everyday profession, in real life scenarios. Again, as a deputy athletic director, I see opportunities to use grounded theory in my career. And one area I think will be extremely useful is exploring the experiences of student athletes at HBCUs. HBCU student athletes often face unique academic and financial challenges that are different from students at larger PWIs. Using the grounded theory, I could conduct interviews with athletes, coaches, academic advisors to identify common themes, whether it be mental health, NLI policies, academic struggles, career preparation, lack of academic support coming into a collegiate level. Instead of assuming that we know what they need, we can let the data drive the policy changes and the support programs that we can adapt and grow within the department and around the institutions. Other applications in could be studying the impact of NIL policies on student athletes, which has become a major thing in collegiate athletics. NCAA has recently allowed student athletes to profit from name, image, and likeliness, but research on this impact, especially at HBCUs, is still emerging as it's still new and something that we don't see every day, and it kind of changes student by student. Using the grounded theory, I could interview student athletes about their NIL experience and develop a framework that helps universities better support them in navigating sponsorships, branding, and compliance, and how we can be of assistance to those student athletes with managing those NIL deals or prospective deals that they may have. And to wrap up chapter 13 and the concept of grounded theory, has introduced me to a significant value, especially on how it allows researchers to develop theories directly from data rather than starting with preconceived hypotheses. This approach encourages a more flexible, organic process where patterns emerge naturally from researchers' experience. The concept of constant comparative analysis, where data collection and analysis occur simultaneously, further enhances the richness of the finding by ensuring that new insights can shape the research as it unfolds. In my professional contact, particularly in college athletics and educational administration, grounded theory offers a unique opportunity to explore complex issues in student athlete well-being and the effects and the change of NIL policies. By applying this method, I can ensure that policies and support systems are developed based on actual experiences and their needs rather than the assumptions that we make based on past lived experiences. Moving forward, I plan to incorporate grounded theories in my research to better understand the challenges student athletes face and advocate for solutions that are both relevant and impactful. This approach will help me create a more informed, athlete centered initiatives in my role as a deputy athletic director and as I continue through my doctoral studies looking at the impact of women within HBCU spaces, on a collegiate level within higher ed from an athletics perspective. Thank you.